What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we got some One Piece news to talk about. We've just had the lovely regional in Bologna this weekend that I casted with the lovely Ben Fitzpatrick. Yes, Vegapunk got second. No, we didn't see that coming. And it turns out that there's actually a bunch of other news that we need to be talking about in terms of the One Piece card game. So maybe we should start off with some new Flagship Battle prizes. Yeah, that's right. We have Flagship Battle prizes, including a top 8 TCG. And the thing is, I'm not playing Flagship Battles over in Japan, which makes me a little bit sad. But because I want this TCG. This TCG looks awesome. It's got lovely Basai artwork, and I am an enjoyer of lovely Basai artwork. It's obviously beautiful in the way that all of these prize cards tend to be, but it's also worth noting that this is the OP12 TCG, which is incredibly good. 5 cost 7k green / character / very important because it fits into the Roanoa Zoro deck. And then on play, you get to rest one of your opponent's 6 cost or lower characters. That's cool. And then you get to give Roanoa Zoro, your leader, free rested Don. Which is very important because the Roanoa Zoro leader skill needs to have free rested Don X free, in order to actually make it work. So yes, this is an absolute no-brainer inclusion in all of those Zoro decks. And okay, fine, Zoro didn't win in Bologna, but I assure you, Zoro had a very nice showing. Just because it didn't take down the tournament doesn't mean it didn't have a very good showing. And now we've got a really cool version of the TCG to go along with it. And the alternate art TCG in OP12 was fine, it was alright. But I think it's fair to say this new version of TCG, by far the optimal artwork. And all you have to do is go and get top 8 at a Flagship Battle in order to make it work. But what's the I hear you shout? Top 8 at a Flagship Battle? I can do better than that. Why don't I just win the whole gosh darn thing? Good point. Well, if you do go and win the whole gosh darn thing, you get yourself the alternate art Sanji from OP10. Which, the Tashiki's a cool card seeing a bunch of play, don't get me wrong. This, however, this is just one of the best cards in the game right now. It is a 3 cost 3k red, counter plus 1,000, but on your turn you get an extra 3k, and when KO'd you draw a card. So on your turn it's a 3 cost 6k, and you get to draw a card when it is KO'd. It's one of those Punk Hazard cards, that's why it's a Sanji, even though it looks suspiciously like a Nami. And yeah, basically any deck that can make space for this is going to play this. It's interesting that the 2 cards we had before, it was full on Punk Hazard, in the snow, all of that. Whereas here it's a very different look at Nami as Sanji. You've still got the coat, don't get me wrong, but the coat a little less prominent this time around. And obviously in Rayleigh decks, this is just an absolute no-brainer, because it's a 3 cost, so it fits within Rayleigh's no 5 cost or higher, but it boosts itself up, and that's everything that Rayleigh is actually trying to do. But let's not go silly here. We've got so many red decks that can just fit this in beautifully, because it is such a gosh darned good card. This is a really, really nice pair of Flagship Battle cards. Now, as always, remember, if they're, these are 32 people tournaments generally, so I'm assuming, it doesn't actually say, but I'm assuming if there's 64 people, then actually top 16 will go and get the TCG, and top 2 will go and get the Sanji. This is a very good card, very good pair of cards, I should say. And I think people are going to love this, frankly. I think people are going to love it. They are coming out starting in October, so get excited for them. What's that? Not quite special enough? You think we can do better? Yeah, I actually think we can do better as well. If we want to do a little bit better, we've got new prize cards coming around. Now, obviously, as I'm talking at the moment, these prize cards are coming around for Japan. These are Japan prize cards. Obviously, They will make their way out in English. These prize cards always do. They should be coming around sometime next year-ish. So, no, we're not getting them over here yet. Yes, it is a little bit sad that we're not getting them over here yet. But I do feel pretty confident that these are going to end up making their way over here. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is lovely. So which ones do we have? Well, we know the Luffy is top 32. We know for a fact that the Luffy is top 32. We are told the Luffy is top 32. So we can start off here. And it's OP13 Luffy. Obviously it is, right? We're bearing in mind right now, we're doing the whole 3rd anniversary thing. And the whole 3rd anniversary thing is the 3 brothers. So there are 3 secret rares in the set, in OP13. And they are Luffy, Sabo, and Ace. We've then got 3 alternate art secret rares that are Luffy, Sabo, and Ace. And then we've got 3 manga rares that are Luffy, Sabo, and Ace. And then we've got 3 red manga rares, which are Luffy, Sabo, and Ace. These are all the same cards. Well, now that same trio is coming around as prize card. So the top 32 Luffy is the same as the secret rare, the alternate art, the manga rare, and the red manga. I'd love to know the numbers as to exactly the difference as to how many top 32 Luffy there are and how many red manga there are. I would love somebody to come and give me a proper list of numbers here. I rather suspect that's probably not happening, and that's a little bit sad. Boo, hiss, etc. But regardless, we've got this Luffy here, and I rather suspect this is going to be something that a lot of people are going to be very, very excited about. This is a very, very cool Luffy. Is it actually any good playability-wise? Well, we've got green Luffy, we've got double attack, and then we've got on play, if your leader is multicolor, activate 4 Don, and then you cannot play cards of an original cost of 5 or more during this turn. There is certainly a redonkulous amount of potential here. It's one I think we've got our eye on. Now, the Ace, the way it's ordered on the graphic makes me think Ace is like your top 16 promo. I am not certain about this. Cannot stress this enough. I don't know one way or the other. But I would imagine that this is your kind of top 16. And then the Sabo is the biggest one. I don't actually know this for certain. It doesn't actually say. They are just top finisher prizes. So officially, they're just top finishers. The way it's laid out makes it look like Ace is number 2 and Sabo is number 1. But we got a beautiful art of the Ace here. And again, it's exactly the same as it was before. It's the OP13 one, obviously. And now here's the thing. This Ace looks pretty good. Because 6 costs 7k, if you got 3 life or less, it gains quick attack, and on play, give a rested Don to your leader, and then return one of your opponent's characters of a cost of 5 or less to their hand, and then they get to play a character of a cost of 4 or less from their hand. It looks pretty good. But over in Japan right now, the new Ace leader, Blue-Red Whitebeard Ace, is actually seeing a bunch of play and success. In the 3-on-3 tournament in Japan this weekend, it was like first and second. Like, obviously, you got 3 decks, but it was one of the 3 decks, like, for all the top players. And it's not in there. The new Ace isn't getting into that deck, which I think might be instructive. And then the big one we've got here is Sabo. At least I think it's a big one. It might not be. And this is a Sabo that is 6 cost 7k blocker. And activate main once per turn. One of your characters gains +2 cost until the end of your opponent's turn. And then give a rested Don to your leader. Dressrosa and Revolutionary Army. Certainly seems like it's going to be best in like a Koala deck. But Koala deck not quite as good as we might have been hoping as it stands at the moment. So I think it's a watch this space playability-wise. But all 3 of these cards are absolutely stunning. And it is worth bearing in mind, when you get to this level of card, the playability doesn't actually matter. Because realistically, you're not going to get a playset of these and whack them in your deck. These are going to be the centerpiece of your collection, or at least, you know, depending on how good a player you are and how many of these kind of cards you win, still a cool part of your collection. Maybe not the centerpiece, depends how it goes. Either way, though, these are stunning prize cards. It had to be the 3 brothers, and that's kind of awesome. Now, there's one more kind of event for which they've shown us the cards. It is your 8-pack battles. That is where you get 8 packs of the new set. And the Luffy leader is still here. It's a cool Luffy leader that is basically everything. It is every type, every color, every trait, every name. Basically, it's a leader that works with absolutely any card. So it's got every trait and type and color and everything that you might need to activate any skill that relies on your leader, which is very cool. And I've said many times, this is like the best thing around. Love it. But there's something else coming around here, and it is a new prize card for that event, and it is an alternate art OP05 koala. Once again, I adore the artwork here. Once again, I acknowledge that it is a winner's promo for the 8-pack battle, although I really want to do one of these 8-pack battles in Japan one day. They look like a lot of fun, basically like a pre-release. You get 8 packs, you build a deck, you go nuts. Big fan, they're cool. As for the koala, the artwork is absolutely stunning, and like I said, it is an alternate art of the one from OP05. So you can have a look at the one from OP05, and you can have a look at the alternate art from OP05, and you can figure out which one you like more. Although I will say the alt art in OP05 is a stunning card. But this is the counter plus 2k, and on play, if your leader is Revolutionary Army, give one of your opponent's characters minus 3k for the turn. Skill is good, but the fact that it's a searchable 2k in a red Revolutionary Army deck does do wonders for it. What's that, you say? That's not enough? You'd like one more piece of news before we finish? I got you, dudes. I got ya. Because over at the Season 2 events over in Japan, the Championship 2025-26 Season 2 event, you can buy sleeves. There's 4 of them. Sabo, Ace, Brooke, and Tony Chopper. They are 990 yen each for 70 sleeves. They're pretty standard. They're exactly what we would expect. Now, I'm going to say something controversial. Bear with me here. The Ace sleeves here, stunning. And if I play as much blue-white bid as I'm expecting to play in coming months, might have to pick these up. The Brooke, oh my word, they're stunning. The Chopper, absolutely stunning. The Sabo, And look, I know it's supposed to be the flag that Sabo raises when he steals a ship. I understand this, okay? We've got an image from One Piece Wiki to show you, just so we can do the comparison. Doesn't look right. Even when we bear in mind that it is, that flag, that is white bones, blue S, black background. That is not what these sleeves are. Sorry, I don't like the Sabo ones very much. They don't look right. They look wrong. And I am a huge, huge fan of how tied in the One Piece card game gets to the manga, anime, etc. Makes me very, very happy. I think it is one of the very coolest things about this game. Since I started digging into One Piece and reading it and becoming a One Piece fan, not just a One Piece card game fan, it has been delighting me. And it means I get to make little references all over streams when I'm casting, and it makes me very happy. But I'm telling you right now, these sleeves don't look right. I think the other 3 are all absolutely proper job, over the top, amazing, stunning. And I think the Sabo sleeves they don't look quite right. And if you think I'm being silly, then please ignore me. I don't think they look right. They're not my favorites. But there we go. We got new Flagship Battle prizes, which are stunning. New Championship Series prizes, which are stunning. A new prize koala for the 8-pack battle, which you guessed it is stunning. And then we've got some rather stunning sleeves as well. Stunning stuff everywhere, but I've told you all about it. So now it's over to you guys. Tell me which of these you really want. Tell me which ones you'd most like to win. Go nuts in the comment section. But be nice, would ya? And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wasi Plays.